Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it is your first time here. Today's video is an episode of Friday Sews, and it has been 2 weeks since I made a Friday Sew, so we have a lot to catch up on. Let's get to it. 2 weeks ago, right before my daughter's birthday, my family came into town. I wanted to finish her birthday dress, and I wanted to quilt and bind a Christmas quilt top that my mom had pieced. So I did manage to get both of those things done. I posted pictures of them over on my community tab, and I'll stick a picture in here. She was so surprised. I did my plan. I had it all quilted and bound and put a label on the back saying that she had pieced the top and I had quilted it. And I had it on the guest bed when she came in. So she was very, very excited. It was the first way to do that surprise. And then my daughter loved her turtle dress. It was the Little Lizard King Arvada. I guess I should talk about the quilt real fast. I just did a really big stipple, basically. I did not stipple the little center pieces that have the like sayings on them and stuff. And then I did not do any quilting on the big tan border, which I already regret. It's kind of funky. Technically, it should be fine based on the batting. I did not need to quilt that closely, and it should be fine, but I feel like I should have quilted it. Besides that, very happy with it. I even hand sewed the binding down, which is how I normally do it and how my mom prefers it, but I wasn't sure timing wise if I would have time to hand sew it down, and I did, and it was great. So yeah, she loved that. Then the Little Lizard King Arvada. In my daughter's dress, I also embroidered a turtle on the front, which is she's obsessed with turtles, sea turtles. So that dress actually like came together really quickly. Little Lizard King instructions are fantastic, and for as much pizzazz as that dress has, like it has the ruffle around the bodice. I put ruffles on the pockets. You can do a bottom ruffle, but I chose not to. Well, my daughter chose not to, and so I didn't put it on there. It all came together really, really quickly. The back does have channels, and you put elastic in every other one to bring it in a little and help it fit the body. And yeah, it was super easy, not super fast necessarily, but very easy, very pleasing. It was a pleasing sewing experience. And then I did on the bottom, when I hemmed it, I used this decorative stitch from my machine that looked kind of like a wave. Thought that was really fun for the whole sea theme that we had going on. And the fabric I used for that was a thrifted sheet that had kind of like scales on it. So that worked out perfectly, and she really, really liked it. I did also make bloomers to go with it using a butter egg pattern. Butter egg pattern that I've used before. It was fine. They came out really tall for some reason. I must have done something wrong. I didn't really look at the instructions that closely. I just kind of cut it out and then went. But yeah, besides that, I used my rolled hem foot. Oh, that's the air conditioning, sorry. I used my rolled hem foot when I was making the bloomers. So I did the rolled hem, then I did the elastic with my elastic foot, and then I put all the pieces together, and it means that some of the things don't really line up super well, but they're specialty bloomers for a specialty dress. It's not a big deal. The rolled hem foot is tricky. I've given it a try. This is maybe my third time trying it, and the only time I've actually used it fully. I just have to keep working on it. It's hard. Some of the hem is like already unrolled at the end because it didn't quite catch all the way in. So it is what it is, but I'm practicing. I'm getting better. I'm practicing. I also, before my family got here, made the Jalie pica. So I'd had most of this cut out previously, but I was waiting to get some power mesh to put in. So I finished cutting it all out, and I did do that. I chose not to put the band on. So it shows it with the band or as a sports bra, but then in the picture they do have it just hemmed. And I chose to do a version kind of like that. I used to have a ready-to-wear tank top like this from Fabletics that I loved. I don't know what about them being attached I loved, but I loved it, and it just got really gross. So I threw it away. It wasn't even donatable. It was yucky. So I was really excited to have a pattern that could replace it. I was gifted this pattern by my friend Deb. She's the one who started me on this whole activewear sewing thing, to be quite honest. She gave me a couple of patterns, and I just decided to make my whole identity right now activewear sewing. That's just who I am now. But I did it with those same fabrics I've been using. This is Yoga from Gail K Fabrics. It's just like yoga fabric is what it was called. And then this is from my Fabric Mart mystery bundle. Man, I have gotten a lot of use out of this. It's like a polar grid thing. I left the bottom raw because that is what I did on the skirt that I made, the Jalie Lulu, so I thought they could kind of go together. I do not like them together. It's just like too much flowiness on the top and the bottom. And I did put this on intending to run in it, but then I decided I want to shorten it. It's a little too long. I don't even think I have pictures of me in it. I don't know if I've taken a picture of this at all. So I need to do that. But in general, besides needing to hem it, I do really like it. I will say this section right here goes a little funky because I'm not going to be able to show you. Towards the end of constructing the sports bra part of it, you go inside. Let me see if I can explain this. So you have this seam for the front and the back, and it has you take the seam allowances internally and stitch them together, which is really, really difficult because it has you do it after you've stitched the arm size, I believe. Thankfully, who was it? Was it Rachel from Stitched Up? I think. I will link it down below and put who it is, but I believe that's who it was. Has a tutorial on making this sports bra and also puzzled through that and had the answer available. I don't know if I ever would have figured out what it meant. Let me show you the instruction I was puzzling over, and just once you know what to do, it makes sense. But looking at it for the first time and not knowing what to do was a head scratcher. So it says, at the front seam inside the bra, bring fabric and lining allowances together and baste with a zigzag. This will hold the lining in place. So the pictures you get to support that. So it does show the arrow going all the way up here to that seam allowance. And once I watched her video and knew what they meant, I was like, oh, duh. But inside the bra, so between the lining and the main fabrics, you go up to that seam allowance, and then this honestly was more confusing than anything else. Because like these arrows, are those supposed to be the seam allowances? Because this feels like, I guess, okay, yeah, I do see. Those are the seam allowances. You're supposed to bring them together. I think that's an awful picture. That told me nothing. So, thank goodness for YouTube. Thank goodness for other people that have solved these problems. I really don't know if I would have figured that out anytime soon. I would have just had to move past it and hope it didn't matter. Which it kind of does. It does really help. You can see, obviously, it was really hard to get in there and sew those together. So I got it pretty much all the way up on this side. Then on this side, there was just, I think I can do better next time. Now that I know what's going on, I can kind of think through it more. So there will be a next time. I will be making this again. I do like it. I think the other thing, besides needing to hem it, I'm not going to change anything about this because it would be so much work. Sorry, it has deodorant on it. You can tell I wear deodorant. Good for me. Is I only put power mesh in the front bra part, and I really should have done it in the yoke too. So I think that would have just added a little more support. Speaking of power mesh, whatever, I took the Lulu from Made for Mermaids that I made previously. I had done the banded crop, so it was this top section, but then this band was just longer. The band was really, really, really uncomfortably tight. Like I felt like I couldn't breathe. When I would start running, it was too constricting, and I needed more support in it. So I took it all apart, like back down to all the pieces individually. I cut a size smaller. So I fixed my pattern pieces that I had traced, made them a size smaller, cut all of the pieces down a size smaller, put it back together, but I just did the sports bra version, so just the elasticated band instead of the longer band. And I added the spots to insert cups and power knit. So this, I have not put cups in it yet, but I can if I want. I figured since I'd taken it all the way apart, I might as well. but with just the power net, and I only put it in the front, it's great. I've worn this thing. It comes out of the wash. I run in it and put it back in the wash and repeat to infinity. I love this. I think I did not do the greatest job distributing the elastic, but does not seem to affect the wear of it at all. I thought it would be a little funky to wear, to have this be so high, but then have it just be a sports bra. But honestly, I really like it. I like having a little bit of extra coverage there. I like that the sweat from my face doesn't go right on my chest. It just goes into this. It's really lovely. So big fan. I do want to try the long line or the crop that's not banded. They have one that has a shelf bra and then just has a cropped tank. I really want to make that work for me. I think it's my body. I think it's just how much my waist like juts out to my hips and then things roll up and it's not great or not comfortable. I think that's the issue, but I'm gonna keep trying because I can sew and I can make it perfect for me. That's one thing I really did like about this adjustment is I didn't want power net on both sides because I don't like when sports bras are like so tight. I've gotten rid of some like that because it's just like starts to chafe because it's almost too tight. It's not comfortable. This is just the right amount of support. I can fine tune it, which I love. So I did make that modification. And then the knowledge of how to do this, because they do have you or suggest you can sew a line down the middle of the lining so that when you do put pads in there, they don't slide around, which is great. I basically used this on my clear water, which I'll talk about later. Okay, next, my swimsuit. I'm not even going to talk about it. I have a whole video on it. I'll link it everywhere. I made the Styla Makina and it actually is some issues with the bottom that I can tweak next time. Especially in watching videos back because I actually wore it to the beach and got it wet and stuff. I do think I just need to go like down a size, the bottoms. I was just talking to Stacey, actually from Stacey J Studio, about like the saggy bottom. But other than that, fine tuning things. I absolutely love that swimsuit. Watch the video and you will see how obsessed I am. That has not changed. Then I made the Closet Core Cielo. I made view A, which is the cropped, boxy tee with a cuffed short sleeve. So I did the boxy tee with a cuffed short sleeve. I am going to be teaching a class at my local quilt shop at the end of August. It's Block Therapy Quilt Shop. If you're watching this channel, you probably do not need an intro to sewing class, at least not one that I would be teaching, but if you know someone that lives on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi and wants to learn how to sew, send them to Block Therapy at the end of August. So I made the sample for the shop. It is already at the shop. I'll put a picture here. I made it using quilting cotton. It's Ruby Star Society. Super cute. It has these basically blossoming, budding flowers. Anyway, so I finished that up and took it in. The pattern itself, I made a size 14, which is aligned with my measurements, fits really well. The darts are basically perfect. I usually have to move darts, but I was pretty pleased with where those are. One detail that I love, you can see in the line drawings, there's this little back panel, back piece for the shoulder that is so fun. It's just a fun little detail. It suggests you top stitch. Funnily enough, I had been thinking about top stitching it anyway to kind of highlight it, but it does give you the option to top stitch it. I think it could be really fun to do either the cuff or this band on the gathered long sleeve one in a matching contrast. I think that could be really fun. I really want to make the dress now. I don't have space in my sewing plans at the time currently, but I might make space. I really want the dress and it would be fun to wear it when I teach the class. So now that I've done that, some other prep work to do for the class, and I'm going to start putting together the PowerPoint that I am going to use to teach things. And I'm going to practice on Adam. He doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to practice on Adam to kind of make sure that someone with absolutely no garment sewing experience can understand some of the terms and concepts and stuff. So that'll be my next step in terms of teaching the class. I feel like I've been talking so fast because I feel like I have so much to talk about, but we're pretty much to the end, I think. It's been 2 weeks, you guys. A lot happens in 2 weeks around here. Okay, so then after I finish the Cielo, what I have been doing is working on the Clearwater. I am making the dress and the shorts. This is a heavier weight jersey, like a thick t-shirt maybe. It's not an athletic fabric at all. I just want it as like an athleisure type daily wear thing. Fits with my lifestyle. And I am doing, like I said, the dress and the shorts, but it has a shelf bra. And then they do on the Love Notions YouTube channel, and within the instructions, you can click the link and it takes you to that tutorial to do sewn in cups. But I don't like sewn in cups. They just never sit where my breasts sit. Even I think if I put them in myself, they just, how I like to put a cup in is different than, anyway. So I also wanted Power Net because I'm obsessed with it now because it's amazing to just throw it into stuff. I wanted that in there for added support. So hopefully it'll be kind of like the Lulu. So what I've done is just like that Lulu, put Power Net in the area to insert the cups, and then I stitch down the middle of the lining side. So that's what the inside of it looks. Ooh, I should take that out before I do the elastic. So that's what the inside looks like. The back, I just did one piece of fabric. I debated which way to have that side face. So this is the inside of the dress. So this is where I'll be touching my body. And then this side that has the inserts is facing the dress. So I couldn't decide if I wanted this part to be against my body like it is in the Lulu, or if I wanted it sandwiched between. I decided to do sandwiched between because then this will just be smoother on my skin, but I don't know. We'll see. I have a lot of thoughts on this pattern so far. I've been making a lot of activewear lately, but I am still very much like new to the activewear scene in terms of skill and knowing techniques and things like that. I'm just glad this wasn't my first time making something with some of these techniques, I guess you could say. I don't know. I think my Wednesday video is going to be a review because I do really like it so far. I tried it on, even though I haven't put the elastic in the shelf bra yet, and I do really like it. I think I'm going to want a lot of these in my closet. It very much fits with like my day-to-day life. Today I went on a nature walk and then to the gym and stuff. And I might even try running in this once or twice to see if I like it and then make some out of actual athletic fabric. So anyway, I do think I'm really gonna like it, but I have some thoughts on like the instructions and stuff. So I think my Wednesday video is going to be about the Clearwater. I know a lot of people is such a relative term, but a fair number of people have in my comments said that they are going to be making it soon or that they bought it but don't have plans to make it yet. So if you're interested in the review, well, I'm probably gonna do the review anyway, but if you want a little tutorial on how to do this part, let me know and I will try to put that together before the video goes out, because it's pretty easy sew, honestly. And that part did not take much to add at all. If you don't care to know how that works, or if you don't need someone to explain it to you, then just, I won't do it, I guess. Anyway, so I think that's everything I've done. It's 2 weeks, feels like a lot. I have not worked on my standing tall quilt at all. Let's move into plans for next week. I'm gonna finish this bad boy up. I just have to put the elastic in the bottom of the bra and hem it, and then I need to make the shorts. After that, I need to work on my collab with Stacey, the aforementioned Stacey. I've been procrastinating it because I need to pattern match when I cut it, and I just haven't wanted to. It's so much easier to just cut these things out and serge them up and be done. But I'm ready for something a little more technical right now, I think. But I have to do the pattern matching when I cut it. So I will be ready for that soon. Speaking of pattern matching, this is totally random, but my collab with Tania came out on Saturday. We did new look 6434, I think was the new look pattern number. We sewed the same top, and mine involved pattern matching of the scalloped edges. And then Tania did the sleeveless version, and she had some really good notes on how to make it sleeveless. I do want to make a sleeveless version in the future, so I will definitely remember her notes and go back to reference what she said about how to really make it adjustable, because the pattern doesn't give you quite what you need to make it truly sleeveless. Make it fall the way and fit the way you want a sleeveless shirt to fit. So that came out. Check that video out if you have not already. Collabs, that's why those little notes got linked. I need to work on my collab with Stacey for sure. That is my number one goal. Number two is going to be to work on my standing tall quilt, definitely. And then I want to make my mother-in-law a shirt for her birthday, which is mid-August-ish. And I just want to make her a sleeveless Rhapsody. It's very much her style. And I picked up some fabric at my local quilt shop today. The owner brought in some wovens since we're doing this class, and just to have, which is super awesome. So I picked some up today. And it's just a sleeveless Rhapsody, so that should be relatively easy. Famous last words. So I will do that too if I have time, and then I can get it in the mail and stuff well ahead of schedule. The end of July is like almost here. I have no idea how that happened. It seems to be how everything happens now. Kind of annoying. That does it for the sewing portion. I think it does. Oh, one thing. My serger started acting up. It was basically fine the whole time I sewed the swimsuit. Didn't really have any issues. After that, I did the cielo, and there were like major issues, like major skipping stitches. The upper looper was just not upper loopering, was not doing its job. It seemed like the timing was off or something. And I started to look up, like, what if it's skipping stitches? And everything was like timing issue, timing issue, timing issue. You can fix it yourself. Do it this way. And I started to watch videos on it. And then I said, maybe I should just switch the needle. And I'd switched the needle relatively recently, but after doing all that swimwear and stuff, I thought, you know what? Worth a try. Better than trying to mess with all of this timing stuff. And you know what? It's fine. I had already re-threaded it. That I have learned should always be my first troubleshooting step for anything serger related, is like just rethread it. And if it's still not working, rethread it again. And like maybe a third time just to make sure. So I'd rethreaded it multiple times and that didn't seem to be it, but I switched the needles, switched them both, and it was fine. So maybe sometimes it's just your needle. That's all. And I cleaned it. I did also clean it. Okay. Life. Oh yeah, life. Brady had a really good birthday. Didn't have like an official party or anything. My family was in town. We had a cake and stuff. It was great. And it was just really nice to spend time with family. Brady had so much fun with her cousins and her grandma, and it was so fun. So that was good. And then we've just been back to kind of status quo. I do think I'm gonna have a lot of sewing time in the next like week and a half or so, which is good because I always have 1 million things I want to do and not 1 million hours in the day. So hopefully I'll be able to get through some of this stuff. Well, not get through it, enjoy it, take my time, make things that I love. That does it for this week's Friday Sews. I feel like I spoke very quickly, so I'm sorry. I hope I didn't actually talk as quickly as I felt like I did, but I'm sorry if I did. I will see you guys on Wednesday for this Clearwater review. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in maybe not a full-up tutorial, but like a walkthrough of how I put that power net in and everything, and just kind of like thinking through it and what extra things you need to do. Because I did have to undo something. Anyway, I'll talk about it on Wednesday. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Bye.